caught up with Chloe Hosking after your race, and you were in the pro race, yeah?
Yes.
How did it go in the race?
It went quite well. So I went in with the strategy of going for a lot of the preems and then seeing what would happen in the finish. It's a bit like difficult when you're just a solo rider. So yeah, just trying to make the most of it, and it's an amazing vibe out here. So had a good time. Heard a lot of Go Chloes on the road, which was really nice.
Awesome. Responsible for manufacturing this bike, is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So this is one of the first models of the Hosking Aero road frame. We're launching this bike brand. We've also got an all-road bike. Yeah, this is our soft launch here for our what is road crit bike, and then we were recently in Finland riding our all-road bike. So
I was on a team with Jeannie Robinson Omalenchuk, who was the national champion at the and Leola Schultz from New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then they teamed us because we were only 3 girls that went. They teamed us with a girl from Scotland and another one from Wales, 2 from Wales.
Oh, Clarice, that is amazing.
So
I love it.
On the 7th day, I fell and I broke my collarbone.
Well, you know, that'll happen, right?
Every cyclist breaks a collarbone.
Yeah.
Okay? She was knighted, and she and her mechanic were the ones that picked me, and this is the letter she wrote back to me.
Oh, my God.
From Teal, 1963.
Clarice, what an incredible story. That is awesome.
What can I say?
Official badass. Hey race fam, it's been a week or two since I've done this race, and now I'm going to do the voiceover, so we're both going to be watching this a little bit for the first time. So here we are warming up, and I do want to mention that Feedback trainer, the Omnium trainer from Feedback, is a flippin' game changer. It makes warming up so much more predictable and easier. If you don't have one, I'd highly suggest it. So here we go on day 5, or my race number 5 of Tour of America's Dairyland, and you will not see race number 6. The next day was Tosa, which is my favorite course, but I just had an awful race, and I got dropped from the group like 20 minutes in. So that one is really, there's nothing I could potentially put in front of you that would help you learn anything, but today's a little bit different. Today was a good race. I had I did have more mechanical issues in this race, but we'll get to that. Just hang on, we'll get to that. But there's some things we can take away from this race. Downers is an iconic race. It has been around forever and a day. It's part of the old Super Week. It's been part of Tote since probably the first year, I'm sure of it. But there's pros and cons to the course. The biggest con is this section of pavement is pretty beat to bejesus, right? Like, it is just rough. And then the rest of the course is really not too bad, except for the front, right before their start finish, it's pretty rough. So this turn here, you can see from the screen on the upper right hand corner, will give you a sense of what that corner looks like. It's a more than 90 turn, so that's definitely the most interesting turn in the whole course. And you saw the graphic pop up a minute ago that said move up. So what I'd want to point out in this voiceover is just this concept of monitoring the ebb and flow of the field and how you can keep an eye on where you need to be at any given time. So the ebb and flow of this field is that a lot of times in masters racing, maybe it's other categories too, but it'll take a little bit of a breather here and there, and you'll see the pack sort of mushroom out. So anytime you see us not going straight, obviously it's significantly slower. So if you're going to think about racing a Cat 4-5 race, I want you to be on the lookout, because it happens a lot more in the 4-5s race, a little bit less in the 3-4s, a little bit less in the 2-3s, and maybe only once or twice per race in the pro category or the master category. Maybe the pro category, maybe it doesn't even happen at all. It's just straight out from the gun. But in the masters category, you can almost count on you're going to have occasions where the field is going to mushroom out. Like, this is a good example. We're going all across the road. That's an indication that we're not going very fast. And you could use this opportunity to, wait for it, move up. So when you see things spread out like that, that is when you want to be advancing. If things are straight away, that might not be the time that you want to try to make that pass, because it's so much work to get 1 or 2 spots when things are straight, and it's significantly easier when things mushroom out. Now, there's the mushroom. See how we take up the whole road? Now we've jumped to the back of the course. this is when you want to think about moving up. So that's what I do. I see that happen, and I try to move up. Even if I end up on the front of the Peloton, no problem. I'm not going to be there very long. Someone's going to come around me, so it's totally okay. And I don't make it up there this time. Here you're going to see another one. See it spread out, and this one I caught early. You can see it spreading out. Nobody's pedaling on the right-hand side. Boom, move up. And certainly if you can find somebody to take you up there, that's even better. So I got a little toe up from one of the Methods riders. Awesome. And then, he loses his wheel here, or skips something pretty severe, but that's okay. We had a nice little laugh about it. So this course, this section of the course is super, super rough. And so you gotta be mindful of where you're going. And then we're going to see, like, he's not pulling hard. I know it's going to come. It's just a matter of time before you start thinking about moving up, because you're going to get swamped. So this is a good opportunity where actually it ended up being a little bit of a break starts to maybe sort of form, and that's the advantage of being always aware of when those mushrooms are happening or slowdowns are happening, because that's usually when a break is going to try to go up the road. And if you're in positioned correctly and ready to go, ready to fire, then you're going to be in a good shape to catch the back end of that break instead of necessarily being the one attacking for that break, which was ideal, right? So if you're attacking for that break, great, you're a strong rider, it's your day. If that's not the case all the time, then you got to think about how can I get a free ride up to that break. I just put this clip in there as a good example of me panicking and way overreacting. I slammed my brakes when those two riders came on the left and right of me. You can rewind it and look at it and see what you think. There's another instance here where I got called out by another rider for doing something potentially a little bit dangerous. I think it was fine, but you'll see what happened here in the clip. And I think I understand why he reacted, and I'm not upset about it, but here's another move up opportunity, and we're going to skip ahead. Now you got two different lines going on the other side, so clearly we're mushrooming out. This is the time I want to move up. So let's see if I get any spots here. Do I get any spots, or do I just tell you to move up and not do anything? Well, there goes John. John Lester is attacking, and this was actually interesting in the warm-up. John was on my warm-up screen there, video. I said, these Masters races almost all the time at 12 to 15 minutes, they mushroom out. That's when you want to attack. Look at the duration. We're right at 13 minutes. John takes that time to move up the field. Great move, John. Didn't work out, but still it's the right concept, right? Getting that time. So here's, I think, where somebody gets upset with me. Oh, not quite. This is where I get my first flat of the day. So I am moving up. That's great, but I currently have a flat tire. So the person behind me said, Brian, you have a flat. And I thought he said, Brian, you have to move up. So as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's right, good idea, I got to move up. So that's when I get my flat, and then it took me about half that back side to realize I had a flat, raised my hand. Oh, Lee, so frustrating. And that's kind of the story of Tour of America's Dairyland for me. I had two, pretty decent races, and then I had 4 races that were just not great, some because of fitness, some because of mechanicals. And this one was, I don't even remember. This was my front tire. Yes, this was my front tire, so I'm riding on the rims right now. I am running tubeless Conti GP5000s. After racing, I discovered that I had some boogers in the tubeless, so I guess I had let it sit there too long, and it solidified a bit and didn't seal whatever hole that this was that was created. So it wasn't severe. And there's another racer telling me, a guy on the chat on the sideline saying, hey, you got a flat. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. So get back into the pit here. Things are going to go just fine. I tell them, hey, I got 11 speed, rim brake. I don't need to tell them that for the front tire, but racer brain, right? All right, so they let me go. I jump back in. I probably overreact on the jump back in part. I didn't need to burn all those matches. I think that was when I set my high for wattage. Again, just relaxing, not overreacting would have been wise. Another opportunity to move up through the gutter. Everybody seemed to be slowing down and taking it inside, so they're leaving this open. Great, I'm going to move up. And okay, there's the mushrooming. Now we're on the backside again. You're going to see this a few more times. I just want to keep explaining, like, this is a never-ending game of trying to move up and reposition yourself up. So here this guy has a flat or something, so everybody reacts to that. Everybody's going somewhere. Okay, well, you see that guy raise your hand. That's your sign. Move up. There's nothing I can do for that guy, even if he crashed or whatever. Like, there's absolutely nothing I can do for him. So take that for what it is. It's a moment of distraction for everyone else, so that's a good time to move up. All right, here's another one. This is where the rider got upset with me. So he's in front of me, and he's going to go take a drink, and this is where I think he got upset. I mean, I think there's plenty of room, but the camera can be deceiving, and I understand why he felt it was close. And I think it's more because he was taking the drink and less because I put myself in an awkward position. So he politely told me that he didn't appreciate that. No problem. And I apologized to him. I'm like, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable, but it certainly wasn't my intention. I thought there was plenty of room, but that's okay. We're all friends. It's all right. No big deal. So again, another move-up opportunity. And I was feeling really good on this race. Like, I felt really, really good. And here you're going to see the cause of my second flat. And Bahati did a race overview and played the whole race. So you can see this from his camera, too, where he's about to, oh, hello. So he puts me right into the crack. That's where I get my second flat. Oh, geez, man. He didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was a little quick to move line like that, but whatever. I'm not complaining. I'm a little upset that it put me in the crack, but certainly not his fault. So now I got a second flat, and somebody tells me in the race, hey, there's 5 to go or 6 to go. So if you get over the pits quick, you might be able to rejoin. Well, I'm glad that person said that because I wasn't really thinking about that. And then I interpreted what they said. It was like, oh crap, I gotta hurry up. So I'm hustling, running for a while, then I get on my bike, then I start going, and then some random person starts talking to me like, hey, did you get a flat? I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. I can't talk right now. So anyway, eventually get over to the pits and, running in my high heels and tights, and I don't quite make it. I missed it by about 30 seconds. If I had gotten there right before the field had gone by, they could have swapped me out and I would have been on my way. And, it just didn't work out. So I'm going to have my little, I didn't get upset with the officials or the pit people, of course, but I'm going to go have my little pity party. I went off by myself. There's all the tubeless that sprayed all over my leg, and here comes my field. But interestingly, you're going to get a shot at the, if you watch the Bahati video, it's interesting how they lined up for the sprint and some amount of people trying to disrupt their sprint and disrupt their break. So there's Carlos going up the road. When you're against 4 guys with Jaden and the rest of the methods to winning guys, like, there's not a lot you can do. They're just so dominant. So I think Carlos's plan was, can I attack them? Can I disrupt their lead-out train? And he did that for the most part, and as well as a few other people. So if you watch the Bahati video, it's super interesting. Here's Bahati taking the win. An incredible sprint. If you watch his video, he just powered by 2 people in the finish. There is a reason that man is a legend. You can learn a lot from this video. So, all right, after crying in my beer, I had a great time at Toad. I just want to wrap up the whole series. I had an amazing experience at Tour of America's Dairyland. If you are even remotely thinking about signing up for 2024 Toad, take note of their week. They moved it up a week, which is great for me. And I can't tell you enough how much this series means to me and how important it is to cycling. So if you're anywhere near falling on the side of going to this race, let me put you over the top. This is an incredible experience. I highly recommend staying in Milwaukee so you don't have to drive all over Hill and Dale. Just an incredible experience. I can't say it enough. So if you have any questions, hit me up in comments, ask me DMs. I'll answer all of them.